What's going on, traders? We miss Spencer Israel. Where is Spencer? I know. Money, too much money, Mitch today. This is a reason why we have a good balance between Spencer and Mitch. But let's go ahead. Let's get to the market. We're going to talk some Tesla. We'll talk about some COVID drug makers. We took a look at some chips. Chips looks like they took a breather today. We'll take a look. Bitcoin down today. Also, Krispy Kreme having a good day. Talk a little bit about recreational vehicles and even touch Disney. Yes, I know there was another network probably watching ours, but we'll talk a little bit about Disney. Welcome to it, guys, at the close.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
What's going on, Joel?
What's going on is from the 6 p.m. open last night, we're 2 ticks away. We're down 2 1/4. Let's call it 2 1/4 at 47.80. Made a run a couple times to get into that 4,800 handle. Who would have thunk it? Pre-market high 47.97. That turned out to be a pretty good target for you longs. You went to 98. Then meandered, and then I don't know. I did see some CDC news on 89 ships being quarantined, and you caught a midday break. Once again, pre-market levels coming into play. Pre-market low 73.50. You went to 70.50, and now you're just bouncing around here up above and below 48.80. So we got a little work to do to get a new old-time closing high. That would be for the S&P futures. That would be at 88 1/4. I just want to point out, the diamonds, they're knocking on the door here of that November high. The triple Qs, well, they're not quite there yet of that November high. So I'd like to see some confirmation from some of the other indexes before we declare victory. Crude gave a little bit back, but it's still up 44 cents at 76.01. Gold still struggling mightily with that 1820 level, 1821.60 high, down $1.40 at 1807.40. Silver, that's 40 cents off its high at 23.48, but it's still up 7.6 cents at 23.06 and a half. Bitcoin, not a day for the cryptocurrency. The futures are down 35.25 at 47.750. Ethereum, that's going the same way, pretty much on a percentage basis as well. That's down $284 at 3,814. Mitch, what would you like to cover today?
Well, one thing I do want to mention about oil, I did see a note out by Goldman Sachs that actually predicts a new high in oil demand in 2022 and again in 2023. So I think this is something just to look forward to. I was looking for at least something that we can look at catalyst wise. Goldman Sachs coming out here and pretty much calling out oil to $100 per barrel.
Was that last week? Did I see that last week, or did they reiterate it today? Because
I think that it came out last week. Is one of the main kind of trending topics out there right now. I mean $100 barrel is crazy. We were at what? Well, we were on the low side. I think we got down towards $20 a barrel.
Well, if you include the negative 40, no, really, basis the front month futures contract down in May, or excuse me, was that May of last year? April, 583 rolling front month contract, but I think at the time the front month contract was around $8-9. But let's see. I mean, as far as crude looks today, I mean, you've had a stellar 1, 2, 3, 4 day move. So just taking a little bit of a breather.
All right, let's take a look at some of the COVID drug makers. Definitely taking a little bit of a hit today. You guys can take a look to see how they performed. I mean, it's kind of I didn't see that bad of a hit, but I do see a little bit of a pullback in some of these.
Yeah, I mean they've been under pressure for quite some time. I'll just look at the leader here, Pfizer. This has had just an uncharacteristic year for it. Uh, did breach support here at 57.16, but recovering. I'd keep an eye on that level because you had a low last week. Yeah, I believe last week at 57.16. Boom, you matched it today with the 57.08 low. You're getting a little bit of a bounce. So you can see if it breaks that level, you really got that pocket between, you got a low at 56. I looked at Myrna here, and that's kind of having a quiet day, down a couple percent. Matching ranges almost on this one for 3 days in a row. So be prepared for this one. On Moderna, you got three highs. Let's call it 253. Let's call it three lows at 238. Pretty wide range there. Looks like we're winding up for another move in that. NVX, the weakest of the bunch overall as far as where it's from. It's its all-time high. Not doing much, down a buck 51, and then BNTX falls into that lot too. It's not having a good day down here at 242.50. So yeah, they're taking a little bit of a hit today, but overall, a lot of these peaked in August, and it's been a struggle ever since.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a move into the chips. Nvidia also taking a little bit of a breather. AMD going a little bit sideways, but closing up strong. So that I think that AMD chart looks a little bit stronger than Nvidia, but we'll see what happens here. These have been so loved. I mean, and I think they're going to be continued loved in 2022. So if there's any of these to watch, I also would recommend AMAT. That one we could get into, because if you take a look at that chart, that's probably going to be a chart that hasn't been really watched for, but it looks interesting, right? Even the
Yeah, well,
monthly.
yeah, well, look at this. You got an area to keep an eye on. Maybe set your alert. 162.81, that all-time high made in Monday's session. People got a little bit fooled when I went to 62.99 today. Uh, Backed off with the rest of the chips. It already had earnings, so I'm not sure what's going to blast it over 163. Looks like you're going to get a couple closes in the same area, all-time closing high from yesterday. 162.72. So losing a couple points. Just keep a real close eye that 162.72 up to that all-time high at 162.99. I wanted to mention the AMD just because we try and get people to focus on the pre-market levels.
Let's do that.
AMD was showing strength in the pre-market. Look how much it took it out by. Not, we had a pre-market high of 56.30. If you were using that as your bogey, it went to 56.73. Really nothing on the, there was no good level here for me, at least at that low at 51.50. But you had just a great, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day move, little bit of a breather, but still, only flat on the day. So good number for tomorrow. Looks like might get a double close here as the SPOOs are perking up. Maybe that will perk up AMD. Yesterday's close 54.36, and looks like it's going to be pretty darn close to the our mark for today as well.
All right, we'll go ahead and just keep moving on. We'll look at it. One that surprised me today, Krispy Kreme making a move. D-Nut, over 12% day. I mean, this one's been slowly making moves on the daily. But I mean, I just don't understand this. I wanted to trade this one so bad because I thought if any of them could be a meme type of stock, maybe a stock called D-Nut could do it. But hey,
They
we'll
pressed it
see.
into yesterday's low, right? And got rejected with a vengeance. 18.16, the year low from yesterday. 18.20 or 16.23, and then you got the pop. So you went from kind of just a little weekday yesterday. This one has turned around right around that opening price too. For this one, I don't have much on this because the dailies, when it got up near 22, it came down hard, 18.60. It has backed off that 50 some cents. So we'll use that as a level for tomorrow. If you're looking more for Krispy Kreme, that 1860, the way we backed off 60 cents makes me think it might hold up for another day or two. Spoos not giving up on that old time closing high back at 81.50.
Yeah, so I'll be watching tomorrow to see if Dina can continue. I mean, hey, 2.8 million shares traded today, and the day prior was only at 1.4. So looks like at least it's stacking up some relative volume. We'll see if it can continue trading that higher volume. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into one area that was interesting to see kind of moving on up. I was seeing recreational vehicles making a move on up today. So if we take a look at some of those, we could see WGO, Winnebago making a nice move, pushing on up there through 75. Total 2.6% day for WGO. Not a bad day.
People out there buying their Winnebagos. Wow, extended, real big move. You were at $65 to start last week. Now over 76. Nothing at 76. You see a couple pesky highs in this area. The mid 75 handle 75.58, another high 75.46, another high 75.59. So 76. Boy, it looks like it's due for a little bit of a breather and perhaps run up and take a shot at 76. As far as what's trying to buy this thing off the open, open flat. This is one where you're keen on that opening price 71.85 open, 71.80 low, and nice run. A little bit more volume the last couple days for Winnebago. WGO Spoos. Back in the green territory here at trying to make another old-time closing high.
Yeah, another one that had a decent day was Camping World. So you can take a look at that one also.
CPW or?
Yeah, CWH.
CWH.
Camping World Holdings. But we'll see how these recreational stocks can continue moving. One thing I definitely say is they definitely have been holding above the 200-day, pretty much all of these. And so what does that show me is at least look for those stocks that are trending in the right area, and they can continue getting that lift, not the stocks that are deep into the red underneath that 200-day. Those are still stocks that I'm still a little bit worried on and kind of wary about. But these stocks looking strong. It even has the 50-day right underneath it.
Yeah, and halfway back of this rebound takes you up to the 41.50 area. Didn't quite get there today. This really on a relative basis, this one's held up pretty well. Just a V bottom off last Monday and back up, but once again, maybe just a little bit of a breather. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth up day in a row. The volume has been tapering off since actually that first up day. The first big up, or the move, a buck move. There's 1.3 million shares changed hands today. 500,000 shares are trading. Yes, you're closer to the high, and the closer to the high of the move. I just not sure if you're running out, appetite for people to buy this after such a big move, and sellers being patient, still able to sell on strength as it makes a new high of the move.
All right, and the last one we'll get into, we saved some extra time for some tickers in the chat. I see you guys already throwing some up, so definitely we can touch that. Let's get a little bit. I took a shot on Disney today. It looked like I wasn't the only one taking the shot on Disney. Let's take a look at it as this starts, maybe getting off of that 150 level. I think, some people were seeing that. It kind of went, below it, above it, below it. And then when they reclaimed that I think they're, at least mentally, I can see that risk being taken there off of that 150. And it does have a shadow up to fill between kind of like this 165 up there towards 175. I wonder if we can get that area to fill.
That's a long ways away, right? It feels like a long ways away. It did have that big buyer came in right off the open, as you can see, by this bar. Let's see where we opened relative to yesterday's close. Little bit of a lower open, but boom, they scooped it right up at 52.41. So going back through that open heatless trade. A couple things to look at. Well, you did get some love on fast money or lunch money, whatever they call it. Yeah, that's what we should change the show called Lunch Money.
Lunch money. Hey, somebody's
Yeah,
got to eat, right?
yeah. Someone, a couple guys were touting that. It's really that after the move up, it had a day of consolidation, and then the continuation move. So Disney looks strong. You just had you had your step down seller on the way down. I don't see if you'll revisit these levels. 155.82. We're quickly approaching that. 150. Oh no, we went to 156.50. So my next target on the upside, you got 157 and 158.89. Those are just shorter term targets. Halfway of that pre earnings break takes you to 161, and then of course matching that gap up above, and that actual gap area that comes in from 163.96 up to 173.87. Spoos back up 4.5 now. Just can't keep this market down.
No, you can. Definitely not. But one stock that did take a crazy fall after pushing on up was apps. I'm seeing it mentioned in the chat. Don't worry. We see you guys. Digital Turbine shares are trading higher. And then all of a sudden, boom, they get flushed down after an announced strategic partnership with Google. No terms were disclosed. So I think that could have had a little bit of a hand to do with it. But I mean, man, the volatility in this stock today.
Just keying off the pre-market action. Obviously, that news broke before the market opened around between 9 and 9:15. Opened up, and just everyone was caught in this one that chased it in the pre-market. Opening print 70.65. Your high of the regular session 70.65. So someone just didn't wait. They, got a nice $6, $7, $8 windfall on it. No really terms disclosed on that. And now giving some back. You did undercut the low from yesterday, but it's still down $1.22 on the day. I think if you're looking for this to revisit that $70 area, which you want to key on for in tomorrow's session, would be that close from yesterday at 63.44. The reason being that represents the high close of the move off $45.
All right, let's go ahead. We'll see what stocks you guys want to take a look at in the chat. So start dropping those in here. I wanted to take a look to see if the Macy's trade kind of continued. So a little bit of a Santa rally. We can take a look at Macy's while you guys throw up some stocks in the chat. And we'll take a look here at what happened with Macy's today. Looks like it got a 2% up day. Got towards a high of 26.76. I'll go ahead and I'll throw this up here. Let's go ahead and take a look.
We did talk about this one, letter M, for those of you who are looking at home. Little bit of a continuation move, 26.76. Wow, that could be a good level moving forward. If you're looking for more on this move, you had, boom, a high at 26.82. Is that what? No, 26.93. 26.71. There's a couple highs in that area. Now 3 highs in that area with the 26.76 high. We're going to close. Looks like we might get a close here above 26. So 3 times up to that area. Take it out on the 4th time. Also, someone asked about triple BY this morning, and or double BY. Double BY.
Double B.
Yeah, double B. Cleared out the century mark. Couldn't get to that 101.24. But still, not a bad day here for Macy's after, a good, not Macy's, what am I saying? Best Buy here. They're just not big range up days, so I think the buyers are still being patient on this one.
I like the weekly chart on the Best Buy. I know that you have the daily and the monthly there, but the weekly has a lot of lows in that same area that we're seeing kind of that reversal right now. And then if you look at it, we actually closed on a Harmy candle kind of that inverted hammer look on the weekly for Best Buy right off of that level. So to me, as long as that weekly level holds, I'm still looking like this could catch the support there and come right back on up. Maybe catch that Santa Claus rally. We'll see what happens. Best Buy. Let's catch up some from the chat now. I'm seeing a lot of stocks rolling through. That's what it's all about. One that definitely is not making its way back. Hood. I didn't see that one coming back anytime soon. And I know that Dennis is a little bit more optimistic about Hood, but I just don't see it, man. I don't see anybody really just going out there and being like, I need Hood in my portfolio.
No, I mean, it had a couple pops over the last few sessions, but hasn't been able to hold. I mean, if you're leading on this, then you're leading on that low at 1708, down a buck today. So people probably just saying, hey, I bought this. It showed some early promise. I didn't get it. Maybe a little bit of tax loss selling, and relook at it at the end of the year. But the only number you have now is 1704, trading on the lows of the session. As the S&P is just doing a quick 10-point reversal. The other concerning thing about Hood, this is going to be an all-time closing low, folks. That previous all-time closing low came in at 1803, and now we are stuck in the mid 17 handles. So you're looking for a level tomorrow, you might want to forget about that 1844 close from yesterday, which was right up near the high at 1853. Have a focus of that former old-time closing low at 1803.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at one that we haven't taken a look at in a while. At least I don't feel we've talked about it. Let's take a look at Twilio, TWLO. This is one of the companies, man, I'm still kicking myself. In 2018, I still have a mark on my chart where I wanted to buy it. So this is one of those stocks that, yeah, I mean, hey, you can always look forward for maybe a potential big winner. This would have been one that I would have loved to invest it in 2018.
Yeah, well, it's had a rough. I mean, it showed some promise earlier in the year, but along with the tech, growth tech sector, not living up to expectations, you're getting a move now to determine whether or not this was just a dead cat bounce, and we got another low coming in. You are giving back about half of that move at 257, 257 and a half. Also, a daily low in that area comes in at just a little bit lower, 255.10. But important couple of days coming up here for Twilio, giving back, half of that move. See if you can, see if you can. I don't know. Not looking that good to me. Don't know if you're going to get another shot under 240. But a couple bad days for Twilio. Spoos with a quick 13-point reversal here. I don't know if we got to look at some selling balances or whatnot, but we're
I'll
now
take a look.
down, from being up 3 or 4 to being close to making that new all-time closing high. No can do. It looks like at
Yeah,
least that's where we look at. 6 minutes to go.
looks like on the imbalances, I'm seeing 434 million to the sell side. It started at 164 to the sell side, so it did go up. It is increasing. We'll see if it kind of increases here, but definitely 434 to the sell side right now, given by Benzinga Pro. Let's go ahead. Let's get into at least one more from the stock, from the chat. This is one we don't talk about often. Let's talk about American Eagle, AEO.
AEO. I think. Is this the right one? I think that this one was on Fast Money too.
I see you, Eric. I see you.
Yeah. Fast Money boost. Nice 4-day move. You'd like to think this thing could go to 26, and very well could. Problem is that no, you're pretty close to the high. 24.67, close it at 24.40. You've had how many up days in a row in this one? Boom, boom, boom. You've had, man, not really. 3 up days in a row. The down day, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6. I don't know. I'd like to see it get back up to 26, pretty close to the high. I'm not seeing anything between 24.67 and 26. But for tomorrow's session, first things first, taking out that 24.67.
Eric said, "No, man, I don't watch no fast money. We don't do all that. We watch Benzinga TV. Why would I need that?" Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at some other stocks that are making some moves. One that I thought would finally catch a bid here. Well, actually, let's take a look at Roku. Roku was really strong today, actually. It kind of pulled back, but it was really strong out the gates. I'm wondering if this move could actually hold in Roku.
The good news
I
is,
know Kathy's looking.
yeah, the good news is it caught some people today because you had that three highs at 135, so or 235, 234 and a half. So you took that out, and people weren't prepared for it to just stop dead in its tracks at 241. 231.23. I think you can stick with this one. You have two lows in the same area, 26.69 and 27 even. So even though you've really backed off from the high, you do have a pair of lows to lean on at 227 area. So that's what I'm looking at after that, closer to 220. But good day, just caught people a little bit flat-footed with that breakout. Didn't get the strong follow through 241, but pretty good volume today. Yesterday was a down day, traded 3.2 mil. Today, the up day, 5.5 mil. So good volume on an up day.
All right, I did see open mentioned in the chat, but I took a look at it. It moved 7 cents. I don't think we need to talk about that too much. But hey, I understand the chat looking at open, looking at maybe Zillow. We talked about it, right, Joel? Potentially this digital play coming back into play. But for right now, I think it's just sideways. You got to wait for it to come back into favor. It's not in favor. I don't think it's out of favor, which is another thing to kind of think about. Is the stock continue on the downtrend? No, it's kind of starting to get that sideways action that you want to see near these levels to look for a potential breakout above these levels. We'll see if it can get back above those levels on Zillow or on Open.
Yeah, we talked a little bit favorably about those. With the open, I mean it's distanced itself from the low and it's kind of hanging in there. You've had a pretty steady buyer in the 14 to 1450 area. That was over the last 5 sessions, so important for this to hold 14. 15 still on the upside. All those highs near 15. Poke through it today, 15.19, but then lost it. So not looking for a sustained move on the upside until you can close above 15 in open door technology.
Last one, because I think it is important, has a lot of people keeping on watch, is Square, mentioned in the chat. Let's take a look at that, and we'll wrap it up with Square.
Hanging out too close to the low here, down 469. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you got an area to lean on. You got three lows. This call at 158, so you're leaning on that. The bounce just was very short lived in this, so I'll be looking. I mean, you can lean on that the three lows at the 158 area. That's about all that you have. Boom, boom. Tomorrow, I mean, forget about that 71.40 high from yesterday, and even forget about that 69.24 high from today. Focus number for tomorrow will be that close from yesterday at 168.48.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a final look at the futures, see what we're seeing. I saw a little bit of a leak there,
Suey,
but
yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Looks like we're going to close on 45.80, pretty close on the kisser. So we break that 4-day winning streak, but you do have two closes in the same area. So if the Bulls want to do their bullish thing tonight, they'll be get this thing back over that all-time closing high from yesterday, 82 and a quarter, and then work our way up. But choppy session today. Not much to see, Mitch. Great job. I'll let you get ready for money, Mitch.
Believe it or not, I'm actually gonna call Money Mitch off today. It's been a long day. I think I did from the pre-show until 2 p.m. So
Oh,
it was pretty intense there. I hope you
that's a
guys
long
enjoyed the
time.
day. Hey, smash the like. We're gonna keep battling with you guys. Joel, we'll see you tomorrow on Pre-Market Prep. And like always, guys, don't miss out. We are going to be having a boot camp tomorrow, guys. I want to tell you guys all about it. If you want to up your skills, work on your skill as a trader, I definitely tell you to check out the boot camp. Swing trading options and also day trading will be included, but definitely check it on out. That'll be tomorrow, starting up after pre-market prep. And until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow on pre-market prep. Guys, smash that thumbs up. And like always, keep it going. I'll put up the little promo, and I'll also throw up the link for the boot camp in the chat.